Imagine being Florence Nightingale. It's the mid-1800s, and you're a wealthy young woman from a powerful family. Your job is to marry well and host parties. But you feel a calling, a passionate, undeniable urge to be a nurse. At the time, nursing was a dirty, disreputable job, and your family is horrified. They forbid it. Yet for years, you defy them, studying in secret until you finally break free and find yourself in the hellish battlefields of the Crimean War, saving lives and inventing modern nursing. What gave her the strength to do that? That's the question at the heart of Ryan Holiday's book, Courage is Calling. Holiday, a master of modern Stoicism, argues that courage isn't some mythical quality reserved for heroes like Nightingale. It's a fundamental virtue we all must cultivate. This powerful book gives us a practical guide, and it boils down to three core ideas. First, understanding that fear is the true enemy we must face down. Second, realizing that courage is not a trait you're born with, but a muscle you build through daily practice. And third, that the most important courage is often quiet, moral courage, the kind that asks you to stand for something. Let's start with the first idea, conquering fear. Holiday makes a crucial distinction. Feeling fear is natural. It's a biological response. But giving in to fear, that's cowardice, and that's a choice. He points to firefighters who don't magically eliminate fear, but are trained to control their reaction to it. They learn to slow their breathing and focus on the task, even when their instincts are screaming at them to run. For us, the fire might be a tough conversation with our boss, the launch of a new business, or the fear of public speaking. The goal isn't to not feel the fear, but to feel it and act anyway. Courage is the discipline of stepping forward when every part of you wants to step back. This leads to the second point. Courage is a practice. It's not a switch you flip in a crisis. It's a habit you build through small, consistent actions. Holiday calls it training. You do one small thing that scares you every day. For a young, awkward Charles de Gaulle, it started with the simple decision to stop slouching and stand up straight. For us, it could be voicing an unpopular but correct opinion in a meeting. It could be setting a boundary with a difficult client, or just hitting publish on that article you've been afraid to share. Each small act of bravery builds your capacity for bigger ones. You don't find courage when you need it. You bring it with you because you've been training for it all along. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, Holiday explores moral courage. This isn't about running into a burning building. This is the courage to do the right thing when it's unpopular, inconvenient, or even dangerous. Think of Frank Serpico, the NYPD officer who exposed widespread corruption in the 1970s. All his colleagues were on the take, and by refusing to participate, he became an outcast and a target. It would have been infinitely easier to look the other way, but he chose his principles over his comfort and safety. That is moral courage. It's the courage to speak truth to power, to live with integrity, and to be the person who says, "No, this is not right," when everyone else is silent. So, to sum it up, Courage is Calling is a powerful manual for a life well lived. It teaches us that fear is just a signal, not a stop sign. It shows us that bravery is a muscle we can and must build every single day. And it reminds us that true courage is about standing firmly for what is right. The key takeaway is this: don't wait for a life or death moment to be brave. Practice courage in the small things so that when the big tests come, you'll be ready. As Holiday writes, fear is a phantom. It's a story we tell ourselves. Courage is the author of a new story. If this book resonates with you, you should definitely read the original Stoic text, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And for another modern take on virtue and resilience, check out Angela Duckworth's Grit. Find more great summaries and reading guides at booksplat.com. Level up yourself today, 3 minutes at a time.